Bitcoin just surpassed 50,000 US dollar, guys, and is looking very bullish in the immediate short-term time frame, and that's exactly where we are going to have a look at in today's video. We are going to have a look at what we can expect in Bitcoin in the immediate short-term time frame, but also what we can expect with Bitcoin over the next coming weeks and months, and how that would actually, how could that look like in the chart. So I will show you guys very precisely what kind of scenario I think we could be seeing over the next coming weeks. Then guys, before we are jumping into the Bitcoin price action, I want to thank every single one of you for the video yesterday. We've reached over 300 likes on yesterday's video. That is just truly amazing, and it would be so awesome, guys, if we can keep up with this momentum. So it would be awesome, guys, if you can drop a like if you like my content. Then guys, let's dive into the Bitcoin price action. So what we are seeing right now with Bitcoin, well, pattern-wise, we are still trading in a rising wedge pattern with a uptrending support, uptrending resistance, and a uptrending support. When we have a look at the Fibonacci levels, which is actually very important in the stage of the price action where Bitcoin is right now, because we have seen a bounce, and sooner or later it makes sense to see a small pullback from that bounce to set a higher low somewhere, and from there continue this uptrend, right? And like I said in my video yesterday, I think September could be a month where we are going to see that. I will share some signals about that in today's video as well. We are going to have a further talk into this scenario. But right now, in the immediate short-term time frame, Bitcoin is just looking bullish, and we haven't changed the market structure yet. That we are still right now in this bounce, and this bounce can actually go quite high. We have seen often when we have bullish divergences on a daily time frame, like we have seen right here. That's also how we have been predicting this bounce, right? We get a major bullish divergence right here with a lower low in the price, higher low in the RSI. So far we've bounced approximately from my head, approximately around 60-70%, 71% so far. And in previous times we have seen bullish divergences playing out and Bitcoin bouncing over 100% before we actually seen a pullback. So guys, take that in mind. Right now in the Bitcoin price, we are actually at a very critical point, because Bitcoin has to show over the next coming weeks whether we are going to continue this bull market or whether we are going to enter a bear market. And right now, of course, I see it online as well. Most people, they are expecting Bitcoin to continue this bull market. I personally do expect Bitcoin to continue this bull market as well. However, I do think it is important that you are aware of different scenarios right here, and that you are prepared for either way, whether Bitcoin is going to see lower levels right here or whether Bitcoin is going to continue this uptrend. And I'm going to prepare you right here on the channel on how to recognize those scenarios quite quickly. But before we are jumping into the midterm perspective right here, let's first dive into the short-term perspective. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. And in the 4-hour time frame, we can see quite clearly that Bitcoin is still trading in this rising wedge pattern. And I'm going to expect Bitcoin to continue to trade in this pattern as long as we are not breaking the support. So as long Bitcoin is holding the support, I'm expecting Bitcoin to continue this uptrend and continue this bounce. And the resistance right now is at approximately slightly above that golden ratio based on a normal scale. And that is at approximately 51,900 approximately, so slightly below 52,000. However, guys, this is a dynamic number, so the further in time we would reach that resistance, the higher the level would be. It's also possible to reach that right here at the beginning of September. That would bring us at the 78.60%. That would be a level, a Bitcoin level of 57,000, slightly above 57,000 US dollars. So that is just important to note right here, guys, that as long as we are trading within this pattern, Bitcoin is looking bullish, and it looks like we are going to continue this uptrend. However, if we were to break the uptrending support right here and we are seeing a reaction in the price, so we are breaking the uptrending support, we are seeing increased amounts of volume, then that is increasing the likelihood that we are going to see a pullback with Bitcoin, which could bring Bitcoin back to the levels right here of 37,000 approximately. That would be, in my opinion, the target of this rising wedge formation. But it is very important to don't act upon it before we are seeing that actual breakout. Because if you, for example, right now would already hedge your position, and we are going to continue this uptrend, and we are going first to touch the 78.60%, and from there see a breakdown, then that is not really a successful trade, right? And it would be better to take profits later. So that's why it's better to not assume right here when you are analyzing charts, but that you always react on what is happening in the chart. So once we are seeing a breakout, you have a confirmation that, okay, right now we are seeing a breakout out of this rising wedge formation. We do see confirmations like in the volume, and most importantly, we are seeing other charts confirming this scenario as well. Then you can act upon, and you can apply your trading strategy accordingly. So this is what I'm watching right now in the Bitcoin price. I'm watching Bitcoin trading in this rising wedge formation, and I do expect, I think the chances are likely for Bitcoin to sooner or later break the support rather than the resistance and set a higher low somewhere right here during September, and from there continue that uptrend. So guys, let's have a look at the different charts where which I'm using as arguments, basically, that we are going to see that correction or at least some turbulence in the month of September. And yesterday I've been showing you already some charts that September is the worst performing month for the stock markets, but also the worst performing month for Bitcoin. Most of the time in September we have a red month, which means that the price is decreasing over the month. However, towards the end of the year, the opposite is true, and that is that towards the end of the year, we most of the time see very green months, similar like we have in 2017, the previous bull market, when we topped out at approximately $20,000. That was also, that acceleration in Bitcoin's uptrend also happened in the last months of the year. So that is an interesting development, right? That we might see something similar right here, where we get in September a small correction, and then towards the end of the year we can see a acceleration of this uptrend. So September might provide us with a unique buying opportunity. Then guys, I want to bring out a different chart right here, and first of all I want to go to the S&P 500. So guys, when we have a look at the S&P 500 real quick, then we just see a major divergence right between price and momentum, and it just tells us that the uptrend right here, the momentum of the uptrend is slowing down, and that the S&P 500 is due for a correction. However, sometimes this due for a correction can hold on for quite a long period. That's why it is important to have certain confirmations in order to confirm that we are going to see that correction, right? And the best confirmation that I would say is the break of this uptrending support right here of this rising wedge formation. But you can also use a different confirmation if you really want to try and catch it early. So for example, if we break a previous all-time high and then lose this level again, then that could be a moment you already want to act, because most likely we are going to test that uptrending support. So you have a better entry, but you have more risk. And when you trade, once we are breaking that uptrending support from the rising wedge pattern, you have a slightly worse entry, but the trade is a little bit more safe, and you take basically less risk. So guys, this is what I'm watching right now in the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is still highly correlated with the price of Bitcoin, which means that if we are going to see that correction right here, I do expect that similar correction happening with Bitcoin. And so this is just a very important chart to watch. Then in yesterday's video, I've been showing you guys the VIX chart, the volatility index of the S&P 500, which is very interesting because this is a chart normally predicting a stock market crash. So once we are seeing a breakout in the volatility index, like we have seen right here in March 2020, that comes most of the time comes along with a correction in the stock market. So right here in February 2020, we have seen a breakout out of this declining resistance from the volatility index. We have seen a retest turning resistance into support, and this was the exact moment that we have seen that correction in March 2020. So we could already see that earlier on in the fixed chart. That is very significant, guys, and right now we are forming a similar pattern, right? We have also a declining resistance, and the moment we are going to break that declining resistance, that moment, then it can tell us that we most likely are going to see a correction in the stock market. Then, guys, I want to bring out another chart right here. That is the Dixie, and the Dixie is very important if we analyze the financial markets, but also when we analyze Bitcoin, due to the fact that there is a inverse correlation between the Dixie and Bitcoin, and the Dixie and the regular financial markets, which means that when the Dixie is going up, Bitcoin is going down. When the Dixie is going down, Bitcoin is going up. And what we can see right now is an interesting development, and that is that we have been setting a higher high in the Dixie chart right here on the daily time frame. So the previous high right here, we have been surpassing that previous high. It comes along with a bearish divergence, so I wouldn't get too bullish on the Dixie right now, but it is a interesting chart to watch, because this chart, whenever this chart is looking bullish, then that most likely has a bearish effect on the S&P 500 and also a bearish effect on the price of Bitcoin. So what we actually want to see right here is that the Dixie is going to break below this support zone again and not holding this support and continue this uptrend. If we are seeing a development like that the Dixie is holding that support and going to continue this daily uptrend, then that only confirms more the likelihood of a stock market crash and a correction, or stock market correction doesn't necessarily have to be a crash, of course, and a correction in the price of Bitcoin. So guys, right now I want to show you how the next weeks of Bitcoin's price action could look like if we would get a turbulent month in the month of September, and how that would express in the Bitcoin charts over the coming weeks. So right here you can see these two orange lines. Those are representing the period between those two orange lines are representing the month of September. And what we could be seeing with Bitcoin is right now Bitcoin is clearly still in this bounce, right? We are still in this uptrend, and it looks like Bitcoin wants to continue to push to higher levels, and we need to wait until Bitcoin is finding its resistance, which could be the 61.80% at 51,000 US dollar. We could also surpass that level and later break that level to the downside. So that is already the first warning signals, right, that we are watching, breaking key levels and afterwards losing them. And you can use Fibonacci levels based on logarithmic time scales, but you can also use Fibonacci levels based on a normal time scale. It really depends, like it's really important that you are seeing confluence. So when you are seeing confluence with Fibonacci levels, then they are becoming more significant. The more confluence we see with trend lines, with former support and resistance levels, Fibonacci levels, the more significant the levels are actually. So if we have a look at the Bitcoin price action, and right now we could be seeing a continuation of this uptrend, and sooner or later, right here around the beginning of September, end of August, we could be seeing a short-term top. Right here, it would make sense to see a top around the 61.80% because we have a lot of confluence right here in previous price action. But it's also possible we overshoot this level and later on we are losing this level. Then during the month of September, guys, we could be seeing a bearish month where we can see Bitcoin going to decline, going to find a place where we can set a higher low. And what we have seen in previous Septembers, guys, that we have seen drops of 20 and 30%, which I think are definitely possible if we are going to see that correction in the stock market as well. And a correction from 20% from the Fibonacci, the golden ratio, would be a Bitcoin level of approximately slightly above 40,000 US dollars. I do favor the scenario that Bitcoin could come down and test this level, the 23.60%, or at least somewhat below 40,000 US dollars, and that we come very close to this trend line right here, the former resistance, and test this level as support. That would be a possibility. So we could be seeing something like this, that Bitcoin is rolling over in the not so distant future. However, it is important, guys, to see this confirmations or confluence with different charts as well, right? This is just speculation, highly speculative, as long as we are not breaking any support levels and as long as we are not have any confirmations of that scenario playing out. I just right here, it's just important to go over this scenario so you are prepared for whether we are seeing such a scenario playing out in the Bitcoin price. So let's say we are breaking the support right here. We are seeing that confluence in the Dixie continuing its uptrend, the S&P 500 also correcting, right? And then during the month of September, we could be seeing, Bitcoin losing some key levels right here and eventually setting a higher low. I think the this support zone can be very important, 41 to 42,000 US dollars, because there is a lot of confluence with previous price action, and we have seen that in the previous past it also has been acting as a local top, which means that right now it can flip into resistance, right? But I also think it is possible for the price to really make a dive right here and to test the previous resistance right here as new support. And as long as we are holding above that level, I do expect Bitcoin to continue this uptrend. And then, guys, going towards the end of the year, Bitcoin can see a acceleration in this uptrend and can surpass its previous all-time highs, and going towards that latest phase of the bull market, where we are going towards the blow-off top phase. So guys, that is one of these scenarios that I'm watching right on the Bitcoin chart, and due to the fact that yesterday I've been showing you all these charts which might point to a short-term pullback, short-term corrections, in today's video I hope I made it a little bit more clear how something like that could be expressed in the Bitcoin chart over the next month. And this is not very precise science, guys. This is very much speculation, but this is just something to give you an image of what might happen in the coming weeks and which levels and which structures in the price you need to be watching in order to confirm that this is a scenario that is actually playing out. Right now, the resistance in the price of Bitcoin is slightly above 51,000 US dollars. That is the golden ratio Fibonacci level, and the support right now in Bitcoin is at approximately 46,800. That is aligning with the Fibonacci level below us, but is also aligning with the uptrending support of that potential rising wedge that we are trading in now. But okay, guys, that was it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed today's analysis, guys. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to scroll below this video and hit the thumbs up button. That is very much appreciated. For all the traders out there who are not yet having an account over on Bybit or on the Femix platform, you can find my affiliate links down below, and you can get an additional bonus if you use my affiliate link down below to sign up on one of these platforms. And you can trade Bitcoin either with margin or on the spot market on both platforms. And right now there is a lot of other exchanges, they are requiring KYC if you want to have an account. So for example, right now Binance is requiring all of its customers to go through a certain KYC, which is a certain protocol that exchanges can know their customers, right? And if we have a look at exchanges like Femix and Bybit, they are well established exchanges in the space right now, but they still don't require KYC, and that is also one of the reasons why I like to use them. So if you don't have an account over on one of these platforms, yes, I would highly suggest you to create one. And if you want to support the channel and you want to get that extra bonus, you can find my affiliate link down below. Then guys, I want to wish every single one of you an awesome day today, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video.